The JP Sears Strip Show 1. 3 years ago, JP Sears converted from fake mental wellness guru to Christianity because obviously that's what wealthy cyber celebrities do. No, this is pure mockery. Comedians have a long history of satirizing Christianity. So if you believe that Sears, a satirist, sincerely converted to Christianity, you are sadly mistaken. Now, being a Christian, Sears is also an expert on Satanism and the ruling class. But here's a little news flash. The ruling class invented all our major religions, Christianity included, plus New Ageism, plus the occult. If you don't believe me, read my book, The Holy Spells, or wait for my upcoming readings. What else did the ruling class create? JP Sears. Through him, they mock everyone who swallows his lies and his little satires, because everything he does is intended to keep us happy laughing, happy believing, and unaware that we are being mocked for not knowing who really runs our world and for tolerating our exploitation and enslavement. So today I will expose the dark or occult mockery in JP Sears. Fun facts about how Satanists run the world. News update. I'll begin by letting him speak for us. One moment.
All the crimes against children, cover-ups, and lack of accountability of elites. Do you ever feel like the world is run by Satanists? Well, that's because it is. We'll get into that and some other good news tonight. Yeah.
All right, JP, nice shirt. Um, I guess he's pretending to be a satanic anchorman working for the deep state, for Satanists. But many of the jokes, quote unquote, jokes in this little skit just sound like JP mocking Satanists. So, what role is he playing here? It's not so clear, it's ambiguous, and well, that blood-covered shirt does suggest he is, a Satanist working for Satanists. Oh, look at that. Well, but that is curious. That is curious. And it's in bad taste, of course, but um, I wonder why JP never took the time to mock Christianity in the past. He did very well mocking COVID believers and New Age yoga believers. Somehow missed mocking Christians and having a look at the Bible and explaining to people that you are being mocked even through the Bible. Let's have a look at Revelation 7:13-14. Then one of the elders responded, saying to me, "These who are clothed in the white robes, who are they? And where have they come from?" White robes. Remember Sears' white shirt? I said to him, "My Lord, you know." And well, he doesn't know. That's why he asked. Well, it's a silly conversation. And he said to me, well, I guess he did know after all. What kind of conversations do we have in the Bible? He said to me, "These are the ones who come out of the great tribulation, and they have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb." Well, yes, of course, that makes sense. No, it's not a paradox. It's something of a contradiction. You can't make robes white with blood of any creature. Now, of course, the lamb is symbolic, the blood is symbolic, um, the robes are symbolic. But couldn't the authors have chosen better symbols? Maybe have written something like they have washed their souls in the wisdom of the Lord? No, in the blood. Maybe the Bible is not what we think it is. Maybe it's much worse than even critics believe, as I do show in my own book, The Criminal Bible. While we are looking closely at text, let's also have a look at JP's surname, Sears. Turns out, well, you may know if you have some experience in kitchens and restaurants, that the word sear is also a verb that means to apply heat and scorch the surface of usually meat. To sear. I guess you could sear vegetables, but usually it's meat. He sears the meat. Hmm. Let's keep this thread in mind of, cooking, because as you might know, white robes, maybe not white shirts, maybe not white uniforms or white aprons are worn by butchers as well as doctors. Yes, they do have something in common. So we have a satanic joke here. It's not just a little blood, uh, but no, this is from a human sacrifice. That's the hint, of course, and it's kind of supported by the Bible. Yes, the blood of the Lamb on the white robes. Let's move ahead to Epstein. Yeah, we can never get enough of Epstein. Thank you, JP. There we go. Covering the Epstein files again, that bottomless treasure box of uh, what's the right word here? Hmm, something disgusting, but it's too much like the Kennedy files. This will never end. And it doesn't matter if it does end because, well, Kennedy was not shot. Epstein did not run a sex trafficking network. And if he did, it still doesn't matter because no, these people are beyond above the law. They are the creators of the law. They create Epstein, they create Sears. This is the world is their stage. So don't waste your time and your emotions waiting for Epstein files to be fully revealed and for some action to um, take place, some justice to follow. It will not happen. Epstein's little island and his little cube-shaped temple are nothing but stage props. These people would not perform their crimes, commit their crimes in on such a pathetic little temple. They are the people who built the White House, Congress building, the great cathedrals of Europe, the temples of India. No, Epstein's little cube on Little St. James Island is nothing but a stage prop. Let's go ahead to the Iran oil situation. Yes, Sears does try to be relevant.
Satanic activity against sugar. But what about Iran? Now,
Like he's mocking us for um, allowing the media to change our focus so easily. And I guess he rightfully mocks us for that. I mean, he is doing it as much as his satanic character he's playing.
that's a great question. Almost a distracting one. The most
Almost a distracting one. And of course, everything about you is distracting. Never mind. Um, at 2:08, what do we have here?
coincidence, or it too is part of.
What did what they did on upstairs, that little cube with a silly dome on it. Let's go ahead a little bit to the same subject.
Fake. Well, let's take a look. War crimes don't hide sex crimes.
Uh-huh, indeed. Well, the joke is on us. There are no war crimes happening. There were no sex crimes happening on Epstein Island. The joke is on us. Have a careful look at the video footage of the Iran war, and how will you prove that it's not AI, it's not empty buildings being blown up, it's not fireworks in the air? Pretty hard to prove it's not those things. Um, Other people are doing good work exposing the fakery there. I might be one of the few to suggest sex crimes didn't happen on Epstein Island. No, but worse crimes are happening elsewhere, including among us. I mean, if hundreds of millions of people are dying every year of various unnecessary diseases created by toxins in our environment and food system and by stress. Now, that is a crime of proportions not discussed in the media. Let's go to Zorro Ranch, Epstein's now infamous, maybe, Zorro Ranch.
At least try to hide the crimes. Other little people at the bottom, in the form of women, showed up outside of Epstein's Zorro Ranch wanting answers. They were going to get them.
That's true. They will never get the answers, not by protesting, standing around waving signs.
Several years ago, the FBI prohibited an investigation into the Zorro Ranch. So the women that showed up wanting justice and answers are hopeful that everything above that and the power structure will.
Yeah, so they're hoping, and it is foolish, of course, to appeal to government or even the United Nations, should they want to go that far, for justice, because governments are created by the people who are committing the crimes and by the people who created Epstein and Sears. No, you don't beg your master to treat you better. I mean, and this goes for all protesters shouting on streets, sending letters. Do not beg your masters for justice. It's ridiculous. 3:05, we got some exceptionally bad humor coming here, if I may judge him.
You hear that, baby? It's like a Satanist plant tree. What the hell? Sorry.
I hope you heard that. There's a little babe, I guess a baby, crying in the background, and he just referred to that as a Satanist's wet dream. Of course, he's playing the satanic role right now, the role of a Satanist. Hmm.
That's my new clone. He was born today. They told me he wasn't going to be born until tomorrow. But anyway, adrenochrome's not real. Ah!
Adrenochrome's not real, no. Not sure this is really funny. No, I'm pretty sure it isn't. Adrenochrome, blood on your shirt. Ha ha ha. Um, let's go ahead to 357, something about John of God. He does know how to pick all the relevant scandals.
Promoted a con man in Brazil who goes by the name of John of God. She even filmed a TV show about him for her audience.
There's his good friend Oprah, whose association with John of God has done nothing to lower her popularity. People are deeply, deeply pacified.
Those millions to him. Well, he was just sentenced to 100 years in prison for.
Yeah, don't give us that nonsense, that fake consolation. That man is not in jail. They don't jail each other. They don't jail their actors. This is all soap opera for the masses. Scandals to keep us distracted.
Women and children. By the way, those convictions are on top of allegations of.
That he ran a sex slave farm that sold babies to the highest bidder. BS. No, these rich people do not buy babies from each other. They have baby farms, of course, and they are above money. They farm babies and have them for free. This imaginary black market for babies, really. And they print money and they make babies in their farms. There's no no cash needed for them. And no, they're not really in love with money as many people would suggest or do believe. They know money is just a tool. They know they are the creators of money. And they will replace the money system with some sort of credit system, perhaps in the future. A few more spots. Let's go to Hillary. Yes, we never get tired of Hillary. Excellent. Oh, there's this young man. He gets a bit of coverage here from Sears. Um, Apparently, he ratted on some child predators lurking in on the Roblox platform, lurking and preying. Nice word, preying. They do mock us. Um, of course, this is the young man might genuinely believe that he helped catch predators, child pedophiles, just pedophiles. Um, but I sincerely don't believe real pedophiles pursue young people this way. Again, the ruling class, the elites have their human farms. They don't waste time hunting children on child game platforms. Don't be silly. It's far too much trouble. Well, oh, sorry. I did mention Hillary. Let's not miss the chance.
What else is it they say?
Well, first of all, I don't follow the crazy conspiracies. I regret that anybody does. I find it quite sad, but also
See, misuse of the word regret. You can regret what you do, but not what other people do.
so disturbing that people would believe some of what is put forth, like Pizzagate.
Yeah.
Oh, now that was not accidental timing.
People would believe some of what is put forth, like
Pizzagate.
Pizzagate.
There you go. Now, Pizzagate is the sex crime scandal that went nowhere some, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. Apparently, the word pizza and this and the one slice pizza symbol represent young girls intended for sex slavery, and hot dogs represent young boys for pedophiles. Um, but you may know that allegedly pizza and hot dogs are considered foods. People do eat them. And here we have a close-up of her mouth, just as she mentions the word pizza gate. Coincidence? Uh, are these people actually cannibals? Is the reason they chose two foods as their symbols for children the fact that they eat children? Is this the occult joke? This is how they mock us, they give us the hints of the truth and then knowing that we will miss them so they can laugh at us. Um, at several points in this podcast, prodcast, JP shared an image of the so-called power pyramid. Where is it?
Notice the Hollywood stars being the closest and therefore most in.
There we go. And as you see, it has us at the bottom. That's not uncommon. It's a little different from others, but not so much. It is deceptive. Again, this is not revealing very much. And of course, it's mocking us because we don't do anything about this problem. But it's also deceptive because it creates the illusion that only a few are on top. In fact, this one claims the imaginary Baal is on top, and beneath him, the royal families. This is BS. The royal families, they are maybe 12 in Western Europe, and maybe a few others in Africa, Japan. No, they do not rule the world. They are mere puppets, usually. I can't speak for all, but King Charles is an example. Baphomet King Charles. The reality is that on the top is I'm not sure what the right word is, a society, a cult that whose membership numbers in the millions. And they've been around for a few centuries. Their numbers have grown over time. They walk among us in disguise, and they're probably on secret islands somewhere as well. As for Baal, the imaginary Baal, notice he has horns. He is a typical uh, devil image, made in the image of the horned one. And as I've stated in past podcasts, lectures, call them what you like. Anything with horns is actually prey, not predator. Yes. Um, Large herbivores, one of the favorite foods of the ruling class, have horns generally. So for us to fear a horned creature, that's more silliness, more mockery that they give us these images to fear. Um, and by the way, they are not Satanists, as I suggested in the beginning. They created all the religions, and occult ones included. They worship nothing but themselves. And finally, let's end on a slightly lighter note as we see what JP is selling to the world.
Some very topic related news about Oprah. In her
Here we go. Here's JP Sears selling something for us.
faster you age. Whether that breakdown is from stress or you're pushing yourself working out or just trying to keep up with your daily activities, you have to recover. And one of my absolute favorite recovery regeneration tools is the Bond Charge Infrared PEMF mat. The benefits I love the most are pain reduction.
Wonderful, wonderful. Looks like you're being cooked by this mat that emits EMF frequencies. More cooking. If you want more EMF frequencies pulsed into your body, just spend more time sitting in a modern automobile, especially the front seats, or even better, maybe an electric vehicle. Get plenty there. We're getting enough as it is. We don't have to buy a $200 mat to cook yourself. Um, Now, I personally don't worry so much about EMF, more about dirty electricity. I've had some experience with it. And I've had plenty of experience with supplements, which JP used to sell. And I don't think I've ever gone into these toys to make me healthy. Um, life should be simple. Mind should be complex, but life should be simple. And it is for me. I'm extremely healthy. I'm not as beefy as Sears is, but very healthy. And all I do is exercise regularly, maybe 5 hours a week. And I don't cook and eat almost nothing that is cooked. And I try to stick to organic food. So there's no money for me to make from selling health-related trash. One more share, if I may. Anyone interested in supporting me? Um, you don't have to donate or buy me a coffee. I have better things for you. Some interesting books. These are not very academic. They're full of my unique personality, let's say. There's ordering information, my PayPal account.